weirdest custom video I've ever done.
How much time do we have?
I got so many different ones. It just depends if you want to like throw up in your mouth or not.
I started actually making custom videos about 2 years ago, and this is a way for our fans to send us a script or send us an idea of a particular fetish or idea that they have, and we film it, we being the talent, we film it for your eyes only and you exclusively, and we indulge whatever fetish or idea you have. A lot of fans just kind of want the idea that they can direct you and create something, you know, for them just by you is a great idea. So that's what a custom video is.
Well, it's not weird to me, but probably be weird to you guys, which is fart fetish. Yeah, a lot of people really like my farts. I don't know if they like the actual noise of it or just see me like release air, because obviously you can't smell it. So I think they like the sound.
One guy wanted me, I don't know if it was actually his mom or not, but he like wanted me to talk about how pretty his mom was and like what I would do with his mom if like we were at a party and I saw her across the room. Like, tell me what you do. That was kind of weird.
There have definitely been customs that I've said no to.
I get a lot of requests for custom videos. However, I don't do all of them. Someone wanted me in a fucking diaper with a pacifier and shit. I'm like, get the fuck out of here. Most of my customs, I'm just talking shit.
I have limitations and things that I don't always like to do, and normally I'll put out there, you know, particular customs I like to make. For example, I'll do tickling, I love feet, I love eating.
The cosplay ones, never really had a good time.
The weirdest one that I accepted, and I don't think it's weird, but I like deep-throated until I like threw up a little.
Ones where I don't get naked. I don't get naked, like no one's fucking me, I'm not sucking a dick, and they love it and makes them tick and it makes me money.
I mean, pee requests are pretty normal. Like, weirdly, that's a normal request.
What is the weirdest custom? I don't know. I just did these embarrassment fetishes, and that was kind of cool. Like, having to undress in front of someone I wouldn't typically undress in front of, and like trying to make it feel natural that I would be doing the action while also feeling embarrassed about it.
Long time, a really, really sweet fan who lives in England, and he likes me to talk in a British accent, and he loves my legs and feet, and recently I was typing with my toes. So he wanted me to be a secretary, and he just wanted me to kind of do a Sharon Stone where I was wearing a dress and I was typing with my toes and cursing at him in, you know, a British accent.
Impregnation fetish was the weirdest one. I was dressed up as Jasmine and like from Aladdin, and Jafar was impregnating me, and I was a virgin. Like totally weird. But you know what? I delivered and he loved it, and that's what it's all about.
I did one that was a custom session with a guy, and he wanted me to like hypnotize and program him, which is something that I do. But he wanted me to program him into David Bot, so he's gonna turn into like a robot, and I had to like infiltrate his cock mind. That was a phrase that I had to repeat frequently, which was difficult because it made me laugh. So I'm programming him and his cock mind to whenever I text him, he'll send me $15.
This guy, he would come to me and I would watch him on his cam and I would have to react to it. And he would have white cotton panties and he would like turn around and he would like poo in his white cotton panties, right? And like I would just kind of watch it come out like, oh my God, it's so hot. And then he would take it out and he would put it in his mouth and he would chew it and he would swallow it, and literally, I am not lying or exaggerating, without touching his penis, he would come.
Fake wrestling. Did I say fake? I think it's okay to say this is fake. But it's like girl on girl wrestling. Some of the moves are real though. When you wrestle a girl like Anna Fox, it's real. She did a like up and over body slam thing to me, and it secretly threw my neck out, and I had to take a week off of work. But because it was Anna Fox, like I didn't mind. Anna Fox can do anything to me, including throw my neck out.
I have a few collectors, about 3 or 4 fans in Japan who love me to nuzzle soft bread rolls and tell them what good boys they are, and really put my tiny little nose on the, they like me to make little nose impressions on the the bread rolls and kiss them and ask them how their day was. And one of them actually also had me marry my pillow. I had probably done about 3 bread rolls with him, and he kept asking me to make the bread rolls softer and softer because he really wanted the impression of my nose and my cheeks onto the bread rolls. And he liked when I would tickle them. He says actually he also likes tickling, and he found me initially because he saw me in some tickling videos. So he liked the way I laughed, he liked tickling, he liked me to say, "You're such a good boy," and put my nose on it. And he said, "You can even laugh while you're doing it because I really like your laugh." And then he said, "I know that I will never be able to be in a relationship with you, but I would like to marry you." And so he wrote out a whole scenario where he's the pillow, I think is what it is. And then we did a marriage ceremony, and I guess I have 2 husbands.
They did hear a story about a guy who asked like another girl, it was like a customs company that like hired me, and they were telling me this story about other stuff that they've done. And one of them was this guy wanted girls to destroy his very expensive stamp collection that he'd been like saving and working on for years, and then just like wanted them to fucking destroy it, like stomp all over it. I think they might have lit them on fire, I'm not sure. Whatever works for you, man.
So, Vore is a very weird fetish that covers a lot of weird territory, including, BDSM, cannibalism, furry, giantess, and giant. You can be an animal, you can be food. Sometimes I have some customers who want me to pretend like they're a turkey sandwich. They just want me to call them my turkey sandwich, and I just eat my turkey sandwich and it's all gone. Now, don't eat people, please. Don't fucking do that, that's stupid. I don't think most people who are into Vore are into actually eating people. It is all fantasy. Vore is fantasy. If you watch American Gods, there is an excellent scene in the first season involving this character who does a specific kind of vore called unbirthing. Because you don't just eat people with your mouth, you can also eat people with your ass, with your vagina, you can eat people with your dick or your tits, or absorb them into your belly button, or if you're a tentacle monster, you could eat them with your tentacle, any way that you could eat something. But this scene in American Gods involves this woman who's fucking this guy, and he's worshiping her, and then she just drags his body into her body and absorbs him, and it's really awesome. I'm not personally into unbirthing, but that was a fucking cool scene.
I get a lot of wet and messy shows. The customer wanted me to buy a shit ton of different sauces and just pour them on me and bathe in them, and it was really sticky and it was really gross, and it took forever to clean my bathroom up. And that was pretty weird.
So I started off with a full face of makeup, and they wanted red lipstick specifically. And so I had to it was a smoking fetish kind of thing. So I had to smoke a cigarette with my red lipstick, blah, 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 just do that. And then they wanted me to take shaving cream and spray it into a bowl, and then take the bowls of shaving cream and rub it all over my face. But then you keep putting it on, not just until your face is covered, but until you have at least 3 or 4 inches of shaving cream dangling off of your face. And it's clouding, so you can't even see, and it's you can't see your eyes or anything. And then they want you to smoke a cigarette on top of that, where you have 4 inches of shaving cream and red lipstick. And then after that, I have to just wipe it all off on camera. That was the end of the custom.
I did a custom video where I was covered in Barbasol shaving cream, and I covered all over my body, and then had it stacked up on my head. It was very Mighty Boosh, I'm the moon. I had to put lipstick on, red lipstick, and then I had to smoke cigarettes, and I had to smoke 4 cigarettes at once without using my hands. But what I didn't realize when I was filming it is that Barbasol is highly flammable, which I guess was the fetish, because if one of my cigarettes would have dropped, then I would have caught on fire.
This guy had this very specific fetish that he had all the girls do, where you start off with he can't see your hands at any point, and you're wearing a shirt that's up to here. It's just your face, and you have a cigarette dangling out of your mouth, and you say, yeah, I'm smoking, but whatever, I can do better than this. You just wait, I'm so cool. and then you keep putting cigarettes more and more in your mouth, and you're having to talk without your hands. So this is really cool, but wait till you see this. And it's like a full pack basically. And then I'm wearing bright red lipstick, and then the next shot I'm covered in like whipped cream, except for my lips and my eyes, and I have all these cigarettes, and I'm like, yeah, I'm cool.
The weirdest video I did was a custom video for this guy. He lives in Germany, obviously. He wants me to eat a bunch of food, and then he wants me to throw it up into the bowl. If I'm in the mood, he wants me to drink it, throw it up again. Now, this is where it gets weird. He wants me to rub the vomit on my armpits and smell it and spit on them, and then rub it on my feet, like splash my feet in it. And it's all my own vomit, and he pays very, very handsomely for it, and it's all done via Skype. And so that's the weirdest thing I've ever done. I draw the line at poop stuff. I'm not into that.
So it was with this guy, and it was for him. He made me put on like a baby diaper, but it was an adult diaper, and put a whole bunch of baby powder, like 2 big things of baby powder all in this diaper. He didn't touch himself at all. And he just made me go in front of him and just dance. And then like 10 minutes later, he came without touching himself to me dancing. I think that was probably the weirdest thing. And then when he like took it off, it was like baby powder all over my floor. I was just like, I don't know, I was kind of annoyed.
He wanted me to be a stripper and have someone sitting in a chair, but you can't see anything except like their lap and their legs. Me stripping, and then come over to him and like start like dancing up on him. And then he wanted me to turn around, and then he wanted them to fake stab me in the stomach, and then look down at it, and then look back up into the camera, and look down at it, and back up, and then but don't get blood in the belly button, and don't cover your belly button. And then I have to fall over and like writhe in pain and then die, and then I have to like stare into the camera for 3 minutes.
I had to recreate a scene from a very old, I want to say like a 70s movie where a girl is in a prison, a women's prison, and the guy makes her dance. So I had to play that part so you can hear the sound, and I had to basically mimic the lady on TV and strip and do like a weird dance, and then I had to pretend to get slapped. This is basically the whole scene where she gets slapped and she falls down, so I had to like pretend to get, I don't know, invisible slap on my face and then just fall down. That was probably the weirdest. That or acting like a robot.
I did a foot fetish one time that was like, it was like 5 minutes of just like wiggling my toes, which isn't that weird, but if you ever like stare at your foot and wiggle your toes for 5 minutes, you start to become very weirdly aware of your toes, and it starts to feel weird.
For 10 minutes straight, I had to talk about how much I loved black cock, but I wasn't allowed to touch myself, and all I was allowed to do was talk. And you would think that you could talk for 10 minutes about black cock, but it's actually really hard. You can only say so many things before you start like, you know, running out of, I love to get pounded by black cock.
Actually, the weirdest custom that I have ever done is available on YouTube because there's nothing sexual about it. And I didn't know where to put it, so I just gave it its own thing. It's called Frankenbitch. Basically, this dude, and I will never make a custom video for this man again, he was a jerk. He sent all kinds of crazy props and essentially had me dress up like Frankenstein with this Frankenstein mask and giant football shoulder pads, a huge sweater, and like 10-inch glittery boots. And I had to chase this dude around and not say anything. Just chase him around like Frankenstein style and then choke him until he was unconscious, which obviously I didn't fully choke him out, but he pretended to be unconscious. And it had to be 20 minutes long. It was almost excruciating to just stomp around for 20 minutes not saying anything in all this gear, and it was the middle of summer in Vegas when I shot it too. So it was a strange one for me.
I was tied up. The goal was to be tied up as long as I could possibly be tied up for and be tickled at the same time. So I'm tied up in bondage for I think like an hour and a half and being tickled straight, and I have to pee
so bad, and I have a gag in, and I can't say anything, and I make more money the longer I just stay in bondage. So I'm just like, okay, I'm just gonna piss myself, and it's not gonna be a big deal. And the person who's ordering the custom will probably like it, to be honest. But I'm getting tickled like nonstop, so I cannot calm my body down enough to pee. At one point in time, I'm just like trying so hard to pee. I'm trying so hard to pee, and I'm getting tickled, and I just want to punch this guy who's doing all this so bad. And then he sits on my stomach and starts tickling my feet, and I have to give the signal that I'm done. Like, I can't do the custom anymore. And since I have this like gag in my mouth and I'm tied up, I have to just honestly make this sound like a siren, like an alarm going off, like I'm beeping.